Hey, oh, gorgeous.
Well, hi, my sweet friend. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Well, happy first day of November. How was your Halloween?
It was fantastic. Yeah, no, it was
Really?
good. Yep, I went out with my partner's kiddos. I did a business meeting earlier in the day, which was super co-creative and fun, and definitely a lot of transitions out, but really good.
Transitions out. Wow.
Yeah, like loopers closing. I call them loopers.
Okay. Yeah. What's a looper?
Just anything that has like been consecutively in my field that is now finished and completed and out of the story.
Woo! Completion energy. That's the best
There.
part.
Yep.
Like, I'm done. I don't need that one anymore. We're good.
Yep. Never again. And all my places and realities. Okay, thanks.
That's amazing. That's the whole healing journey, right? Is to like identify those patterns and like, whack, you know.
For sure, for sure. And these ones, like I knew, I'm like, no, these are I've completed these cycles, but of course it was like Shadow Week, right? Supposedly, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
You're like, I
No,
don't know.
no, I get it. I get it. I mean, for me, my whole life has been shadow week. So I was like, I don't know why this week is different.
I mean, that's true. That's true. I made a really funny video in and around like Shadow Week and how, oh, did you get it this week only? That's it.
Oh,
After that,
yeah,
you've either
yeah. 1 week only. Get it
1
now.
week only, get it now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I don't really buy into that either. I just know too, like this week was like, oh, I'm quantum leaping that piece. We're done.
That makes me like breathe easier, knowing, like knowing that that sort of thing is happening. I feel like that too, I mean, I feel a lot of things that I struggled with in the past, I'm letting go. Like I also had a lot of completion energy because from being gone from our community and in Montana for 2 years. We were in Dallas while I was in this, like, I'll call it the chrysalis phase, my period of intense isolation.
Yep.
And now coming back, it was like one of our big first holidays where just, you're just in the stream of things and you get back
Yeah.
into it. And I was like, ooh, I have really seen like it was just an average holiday. It was everyone getting together. It felt very normal to me, as normal as Halloween
Nice.
can feel.
Nice.
But like I was a completely different person than the last time I went with that group of people to have that event. And so to me, it was a big marker to
Yep.
say,
Yep.
like 3 years ago at that Halloween party, I was very, very different. And here I am, same group of people, same event, 3 years later, going like, ooh, I feel so much stronger, so much more clear, so much more present, so much more powerful. It's like I'm a totally different person.
Oh
Totally.
yeah.
And so when you talk about like completion energy, I was like, yes, I know exactly what you mean. And I don't, like you can see the energy patterns in a different way that I can. Like I was kind of joking, like my whole life has been this big shadow that I've been like digging myself out of. I'm just that kid who's like climbing up the mountain, like, is this thing ever gonna end? And but I love that, and I think we should all celebrate that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I know. And like shadow is an ever-present thing. It's just depending on whether you want to look at it that way or not, or how you want to move through it. I could say that about my life too, or I've been like, wow, that's been a consistent shit. I don't think there's an end to this mountain, everybody. I think.
That's funny. And one of my friends I was out with last night, she texted me and she texted me this picture that someone looked at the two of us and we both had like a similar expression on her face. And I think we were like listening to a story or something along those lines, right? And there's a new term. Instead of resting bitch face, it's resting disappointment face. I was like,
I
or
love
just
that
resting
so much.
disapproval face. That's what it was. Resting disapproval face.
No,
So
that's great.
which is kind of cool because now that we're out of our shadow phase, we can see other people as they're still in theirs.
For
Now
sure.
we can see there's a distinction, there's a difference, and you can see when other people are still in theirs, and you can be like, I think you need to get out of that.
Yeah, yeah, or stay in it. I mean, whatever you want to do. At least the story is with me. I'm like, oh, that's cute for you. I'm gonna, nope. Not mine. That's not mine. Like with friends, family, that I've had
Yeah.
for a while, where I'm like, ooh, like that's touching something deep. That's a place that I don't have to be in, right? You know?
But I love that because you just said it's a place I don't have to be in.
Exactly. Like that's
I'm
not
gonna circle that in gold nugget for you. Yeah, because it's a choice and we don't see it when we're in it, but once you're outside of it, you can see it for what it was on the inside of that
oh,
shadow
totally,
period
for sure.
and go, yeah,
And
that's a place I don't choose to be anymore.
yep, no, no, whatever is that attraction rate is no longer. But it's fun now, I think, at least for me, because I'm like, wow, that was me was so long time ago, and I'm not attracting that anymore. And also, too, I see over this last, I would say, couple week period is just because they're in that space, also doesn't mean I have to break connection, right? And I think like
Yeah.
previously that would have been like, ooh, that's dense. I'm gonna have to take a step away for a long time because I want to be attracting that, right? But
Yeah.
also now it's like I know I'm not attracting that. I know who I am. I know which power I'm standing in fully within myself, and I respect someone's perspective and where they're at. And if we touch base at some point, cool. Like I'll walk alongside that. I'm not gonna be in it.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, what's coming up is just the gratitude that I have for it.
Yep,
And just like how hard it is to be in that shadow period because you
totally.
don't know you're in it, you don't know how to get out of it, and you don't know why you're there in the first place. It
Oh,
just feels icky, it feels disappointing, it feels like life is falling apart. It feels really negative, and you know that there's something, hopefully, you've had a connection to something more positive to
right.
compare it against. But when you're outside of it and looking back, I tell you what, I am so immensely grateful for that period of time
Gosh, yes.
that I can now discern the difference between what feels good and what doesn't feel good,
Totally.
more so than just words in my head. It is a visceral experience
Oh yeah.
that it was like fight or flight. And then now being on the other side of that shadow period, going, I can breathe easy. Like what I just said after I saw you, and I was able to take that like easy breath. That doesn't happen when you're in that shadow period.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
your body can have ease and calm and your emotional state is just at rest and you can choose how you wish to feel and use that as a launching pad. Like I am so immensely grateful for that period. And wow, to have this conversation to say, here's what life looks like on the other side. Never thought I would ever have that.
For sure, man, for sure. And I also too for everybody out there who is running in a period like that, it to me in my perspective, it means that there is something good for you coming, right? You're just in that phase where all of that is alchemizing and it's shifting so that you have the ability to do that within yourself and also your nervous system. This big nervous system regulation piece, right? Where you're like in it, you can't get out of it, or and your body's not really able to fully regulate or shift into something that's else until it's time, right? Until eventually over time that shadow period is like, oh, that's not necessary. And it's funny because you look at it now and you're like, oh my gosh, like I was face planted on the floor for like 4 months in this shadow period,
Oh no.
right? And then you like stand up and you're like, that was such a tiny fragment, and I can't believe that took me down for 3 months, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But in the moment, you're like, this is the heaviest thing ever.
Totally, totally. Yeah, and headed into this space now and being able to, like you said, discern and a lot of gratitude and a lot of gratitude for everybody who's going through it too. Like there's just a lot of gratitude for those periods. It's like, whew, I'm so happy that like my body, my soul is aligned in the space where it's like I'm noticing it. It's not, I don't have no reaction to this like at all. And also I'm staying in a space where I'm gonna let the ease come in, right? The easefulness. And I feel like heading into, well, we're in Scorpio now. It was your birthday.
Boop, boop. Scorpio.
Scorpio. If you want to dive into that or not, I guess that's all how you want to perceive the energy and what that looks like, which is supposed to be shadowy. Um, I feel like this is a fantastic flow space right now. This is just a I'm happy, like you said, to have those markers where I'm coming back into connection with co-creators that are really amazing, and it feels really good, and that my body is choosing ease. So if it doesn't feel easeful, that's a no.
And I'll tell you, that is not a natural state for me to choose ease.
Yep.
And maybe it's being born a Scorpio and my life path was meant to just go through the absolute craziest, crazy muck shit of life and try and claw my way out of it. If that's if that's what I was meant to do, okay, I feel like I've done that. Mission accomplished. Check that box. But like when I was in all of that, like kind of muckety muck stuff, I could never see what was next, what was
Right.
down the road. I could never see myself outside of that because I
Hmm.
was so consumed it within the hurt and the upset and the breakdowns and the just everything falling apart around me. Like, how could you ever see anything that's good beyond? Although I think that that's a big piece to trying to get out of that
For sure.
is to say what we're feeling right now is in this moment, but there's a horizon point that we don't see, that we don't give ourselves credit for, of being at a Halloween party where your life was in breakdown, to be able to extend that timeline out 3 years. What does life look like on the other side? It
Hmm.
looks whole and complete. It looks healed. It looks calm. It looks being able to enjoy friendships with genuine appreciation and love for the people around me, and to
Yeah.
allow them to participate in my life and to show up with having positive things to say instead of my life is crap, it's breaking down around me into a million pieces. Like, that's a Debbie Downer. No one wants to hang out with that person at the party. That's when you get the resting disapproval face and you're like, look at that bitch over there, she's in some shit. But guess what, 3 years or however x number period of time, if we could extend that horizon out to see what's
Sure.
beyond being stuck, there is something good on the other side.
Yeah, yeah, there really is. And from my perspective, there's never really any stuck. The universe is constantly moving. Our atoms are constantly moving. That's energy, right? So at some point, that's not going to be stuck. Whichever way it unsticks itself. Like my little kid came out, whatever way it unstucks itself. It's going to. I mean, that's actually universal law. Everything is in motion and it's always changing, right?
Well, what advice do you have to unstick unstuck?
I mean, the first thing would be if there's a possibility to zoom out of a perspective, just to say, look, this is one moment in my existence right now. Energy is constantly moving. It's going to move at some point, right? It's in motion. Whatever I'm moving through right now, there is going to be a cycle where that's not going to be the case because growth is going to be there. Something else is going to be there. I'm going to make another choice because your body doesn't, it can't literally stay in the same spot for forever and ever either, right? We age, and that is now shifting, to it's kind of like deciding we want to live longer lives, depending on our perspective,
Yeah.
right? But our bodies are changing too. Everything is always changing. So if we know it's always changing, then this one moment is one moment. It's gonna pass at some point. And when it does pass, there's gonna be a different choice there. And what am I gonna do? I'm gonna choose something different. If I don't like this now, I'm gonna choose something different.
So, yeah, I love that. And that reminds me of this book from Dr. Bruce Lipton, The Wisdom of Your Souls.
Oh yeah.
Or, sorry, The Wisdom of Your Cells. The Wisdom of Your Souls. That would be a good book.
I'm like, damn.
We should write that, but we could co-collaborate that book together.
Let's do
The
it. That
Wisdom of
sounds
Your
great.
Souls. That just came out. The Wisdom of Your Cells by Dr. Bruce Lipton is a really brilliant book. And I listened to it on a road trip before my son was born. So like 12, 13 years ago. And it talked about like how your cellular biology is always listening to your thoughts. So if you're like, I'm awful, I'm bad, and then you wonder why your body's in breakdown. Or, on the converse side of it is like, I feel youthful, I'm stopping the aging process. I don't know. Like
Oh,
what kind of impacts can that actually have on your physical body?
I mean, everything, honestly. I mean, that's scientifically proven now. And if you guys want to go take a look at Bruce Lipton, he does a lot of great stuff with cellular aspects and how your mind, your thoughts,
Yeah.
create your reality, right? It creates gene
That's
regulation,
right. That's
right?
right. Yeah.
So, it's one thought that could shift cancer in the body. I've seen it. I've personally seen it. I've
Oh
witnessed it.
my
I've done a
gosh.
lot of work in and out of that, even in the hospital, where I've seen, okay, well, what if we were to shift the perspective here? Okay, just one shift. The cells respond to that, energy responds to that, and you turn something off. That's it. I've seen all kinds of things heal that way just by you choosing something different to think about, right?
So if someone is like watching this and they either are suffering themselves or they know someone close to them who's
Mhm.
really suffering and
Yep,
struggling, like
totally.
Like how should they proceed with that information? Like,
I mean, first off and foremost, I always say be exactly where you're at. Don't try and fix yourself, change it, or anything right off the bat, because that's where we get ourselves into trouble or shame cycles or doom spaces.
yeah.
Definitely like permanent disapproval face,
Oh, right. Permanent
where it,
disapproval, resting
like always,
disapproval.
right? It's can I be with where I'm at right now? And it's okay to be exactly where I'm at. I generally when I'm with somebody who's moving through something, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, I'm with you on this. I'm right here with you, and we can be in that for a second. And that's okay to be there." I allow the body to really be in awareness of how it's feeling right in the moment. If there's any emotions that are in the current moment, from anything that it's perceiving in the body, then I'm going to say, please express that. Let's just be here with that for a second. As soon as you express that, the change is already happening within the
Oh
cell,
wow. Yeah.
right? Because that's all the body really wants to do is to be able to express it, and not judge itself or get on itself or something. Humanity definitely has these constructs running through there that we've all had to work through, which is that we're going to shame ourselves for something we've done wrong, because like essentially we've done something permanently wrong, especially if you're running through like religious cycles or governmental cycles where it's like I can't get on top of things, right? I can't do anything right. I mean, that's a program that we've
Yeah.
definitely had. So it's doing that without shame or blame. It's like, no, this is exactly where I'm at right now. And then I say, you have a power to change it. You do have a power to change it. Sometimes you have to sit with that for a second until you understand that, right? And being with somebody else who's in their stuff, there's nothing wrong with that person. I'm going to see you as whole from the beginning. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing broken. It's I'm going to see you as a whole person, and I'm going to be with you alongside with that. Obviously, I'm not going to go into fix, save, or anything like that. And if I'm in it myself, then it's wow, I'm feeling this experience right now. It's just right now. I'm feeling it. I'm going to feel it fully. And most likely there's going to be emotion attached to it because that's how humans work. That's how we alchemize with our emotions. And whatever it is with that, I want to give that awareness. And then once there's something moving through the body, I can feel it. I'm actually moving. wanting to get up, walk around, take a bath or something. Then I know I have a choice to make there. And what choice is that going to be? Which is, I actually deserve something better than this right now. I actually deserve to receive something. I deserve to have a really good, either job or business. Like I was born worthy. You hit that one too. I was born worthy. There's nothing anybody else can do that's going to hit on my worthiness because that's my birthright.
I love that. Yeah, and religion kind of takes that out of us and from certain circumstances. But like I almost view it as the body knows how to be so intelligent to repair itself and to heal itself and bring itself back up to its natural state. And anytime we have disease, it's like a boat anchor or just some kind of ailment in our body. It's just pulling our body down. It's like, how do you cut those strings so your body knows how to naturally float back up to its natural state again?
Oh, totally. And the body knows how to do that. It's telling you every single day. You just got to listen to it, you know?
Yeah, because if you're feeling negative or bad, that's part of that boat anchor holding
Oh,
you
for
down.
sure. Totally. Then that's if especially in the body, if your body's feeling that, that's please sit with your body for a second. What is it trying to tell you? What is it moving through right now? What's stuck in there? What's stuck in the nervous system? As my body on a daily basis hits trigger a memory of some sort that has happened. And then like, well, what do you want to do with that? Do you want to use it? Usually now my body's like, I want to use that for my empowerment, you know? I'm gonna move through this and then I'm gonna make a choice that's different. Or, it's I'm gonna be in gratitude for what that was. I'm appreciative. I'm glad that I'm at where I'm at right now. And or something's coming in and I'm gonna get prepared for that.
Yeah. Well, and you tied it back to gratitude. I mean, it is just, it works itself in so many different areas of your life. Like you don't have to be grateful in one area, but then find a different emotion over here. Like gratitude can just be across the board and just help elevate you across every aspect of life.
Oh, totally, totally. And sometimes it takes a while to get to that gratitude space. So,
It
if you got to
does.
be really in it and you can't do the gratitude thing right now, don't worry about that. Be in
And
it
you
where
can't, yeah, you can't fake it. And it's okay. Like you can aspire to get there. It's like the power versus force, that the
yeah.
laws of vibration. And maybe you can tell me that vibrational resonance scale. I think Abraham Hicks has something similar too,
Yeah,
where
yeah, there's quite a few like power versus force type of scales and things that I've seen out there.
yeah,
I mean, essentially what that is There's a dynamic where you can have polarity, where you're pushing against your natural force, your natural, I'm going to say your natural essence, your soul format. And then there's a space where you're going to surrender to what that force is, right? If you surrender to what it is in any given space, it's going to alchemize and align pretty quickly. If you are to push, force, hustle, uh, any of those phases where it's anything against what your natural part is, even if that's in a deep space,
Yeah.
uh, you're going to keep building momentum on the other side of that, and that force is only going to be that much more. Does that make sense? Coming into the space, so it'll push you even further down if you're going to push against it.
Yeah, no, I get that. And it's okay if the next feeling up is shittiness, right? Because it
Totally.
was higher than anger and, like rage, right? Like
Yep.
even if
Exactly.
that next emotion you have some judgment towards it, like, well, that's still kind of crappy, but at
For
least it's
sure.
higher than where you were before. Like you go there, and that is okay place to be because you sit
Absolutely.
there until you're ready for the next one, which isn't shittiness, it's meh, and then
Totally.
and then after meh, you can maybe get to something neutral and higher.
Right, right, right. I mean, that would be like looking at the density chart, and we're looking at sometimes I don't really play into that because as a human perspective, I can read it and be like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting in shame. It's way below this love frequency, right? That's hitting up here. So I'm gonna freaking beat myself up a little bit. And so I don't like those that way. I'm gonna say, look, I have a shame piece coming up. Everything is encompassed by unconditional love from my
Yeah.
perspective. Everything is. There's nothing wrong with that. That gets to be there. What can I do with shame though? Shame is a really big transmutation piece. Okay. It allows me to be in alignment. If I'm feeling shame about something, ooh, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to really, really feel that shame. I'm going to see what's sitting in it, what it's rooted in. And then I'm going to say, I accept you as a piece of me and I love you anyways. I'm going to raise that vibration to the next level.
Okay, can I just go really deep for a second? Like,
Heck
are
yeah.
these emotional constructs really just code written into our human blueprint and it's just playing out and it's like reading a book and then you're like, oh, I want to, get rid of that book. I'm just going to put it back on the shelf and you can like get rid of it like
Yep.
how do these constructs get into our body that we feel it so viscerally and why
Oh,
is it so fucking hard to get rid of them?
oh yeah, no, it is a code. It is for sure a code. Go a code on our D in our DNA. It's a code that we've had ever since humans were humans. And we've culminated some of these codes, the survival codes. Um, they've been so imprinted for so long that for us to be able to see that has taken us well up to this point to see more and more of that. I don't think they're getting as hard to start to shift out because our cellular memory is starting to be aware that it doesn't need that. But for a while, it needed it, right? For a while, it needed us to protect ourselves. It needed certain constructs to survive, so it thought. Um, and now it doesn't. And even with some of these that take a little bit of time to shift through the space, you're still moving through them as soon as you hit the awareness of it being there, right? Like I'm aware of it. It might take me a few years to make the full shift, but as long as you're aware of it and you're like, ooh, I know that's going to be changing, then you can surrender to it.
And I also think like we're able to move through some of these constructs faster.
Yep.
Like, and I don't know why that is, if it's because there's different energies hitting the earth, like light codes coming in to help us break those patterns or those codes. Like, did light codes that are coming in, like, does that kind of play with these emotional codes that are in our body? Is it like, like to blow
I mean,
them up, or is it to
yeah.
give us access to feel or sense something different? Like, how do the light codes kind of play off of the emotional codes?
I mean, they play off of everything because codes are everything. And from my perspective, and I've been, ever since I was little, I've been working with these codes and seeing these codes and seeing how they affect like my system and working with the universe in certain ways. So as soon as a code comes in, whether that is, from the earth, because she creates her own codes, right? Or we're looking at a consciousness base that is something that is greater than ourselves, which I've definitely see codes coming through. It does affect our emotions, how we want to move, because it's getting deep into our cellular memory. Now these light codes that I see from my experience coming in through the space, they're much lighter. They're easy to read from the body. When before
Uh-huh.
they weren't as easy to read. There'd be like we'd be pretty deep into our stuff, and I would see these codes come through, and it would take maybe a couple of years for those particular codes to actually get into the cellular memory.
Yeah.
And now, like I see them coming through. I mean, they're like binaural codes, right?
What is binaural?
Um,
I've heard of binaural beats, like where
binaural
like
beats.
the
Yep,
hemisync to
yep,
help you.
yep, yep,
Okay,
yep.
is that okay?
Yeah, I'm like, I think I just merged two things.
No, no, I mean this is fascinating to me, right? I love it. I love it. I'm like I'm curious and I like to know how things are like architected because to me if I can build it, I can smash it. You
Oh,
know, like
totally, totally, totally. Yeah, I would have to say that these are they're rhythms, they're numbers, okay? They come in sound, they come in light, they come in all those formats we are the universe actually works in from my perspective, which is light, sound, okay, numbers, frequency, vibration. Um, they come in through all of those formats. And for me, they're numbers. Like I can see the numbers in it. And then I can feel it. And then I can see the visual of it from how my body wants to perceive it, right?
numbers like code, like computer code, like ones and
Yep.
zeros.
Ones and zeros. Yep.
I mean, that makes me think of like the opening scene of The Matrix where it's in green and it's all those ones and zeros and ones and zeros. Like that's
Oh yeah, for sure.
basically our human construct, which is all the code that's been brought in. And I love your background because I've been like staring at your background this whole time you're talking about. I'm
Oh.
like, there's a light code swirling around you. Like you got it. You're like in the soup of it.
I'm like racking my brain right now. I'm like, codes. There's so many names and things that I could say for that. You could get scientific into not, but at the end of the day, only thing that matters about it is how you're feeling, how you're moving in your experience, how you're creating in your experience, right? If you're seeing the codes, which I do and perceive, then that's awesome. I generally have, I'm going up to the mountains, I'm doing a lot of meditations and I'm working with that on a daily basis. But for those who aren't in that perceiving or that's not their pathway down here, and sometimes I have a laugh behind there because I'm like, that must be nice sometimes. Not all of that because I have all of that on a daily basis and I've learned in my that's my path and that's what I work with and that's what
Just
I
see the codes.
to see the codes, fill the codes, work with them on a daily basis. For those who are not so aware of the visual, the feeling, the sound, other aspects of that, then it's just your overall feeling. How do you feel in your body? How are you feeling about, maybe receiving, how you're working through co-creative processes with others, connections, how are you working in your reality, It's an overall feeling of joy, I would have to say, in the process of the codes coming in. It's very loving, yet it has its boundaries. It allows you to really speak up for yourself and do what you need to do. It's being able to co-create with others in a way that we haven't seen before.
So is it like walking through a video game and you see this power up and you're like, I'm gonna grab that power up? Like, is that like how these codes are that are swimming around behind your head back there? And we're like, I just want that one. That
That's how
one's gonna
I
give me
see
this
it.
power up. And I
Yeah,
can
that's precisely how I see it, which is why I created my platform, the Game Changer, because it is a game. It's like a video game, right? The way that I see the Matrix, the way that I see layouts for the Matrix, which is going to be like a gaming kind type of format, where it's these codes, it's the Matrix, which is horizontal and vertical lines that I can see flying out there. And then I can see the amount of realities that are coming in from those lines, almost like a spider's web, right?
like the different timelines
The
of in
different
terms of
timelines, yep, and the interconnections between them, like mycelium, okay, where they're interconnected, like your nervous system, which would be similar to how the Matrix, I think, for me, is set up. Okay, and then it is a big video game. It's like, okay, what am I going to choose today? How do I want to interact with this? Sometimes, obviously, mo every time, but there is also an Earth overlay that I see with the Matrix. There's other planets, there's other beings that I see that have their own Matrix. It's how do I want to play with this in my video game.
so yeah. So the way that I kind of see it is a little bit like the Truman Show overlaid with like Hunger Games
Yeah.
And, like we're just the players inside that arena, but there's other people outside of it that are kind of
Yep.
watching, and they're like sending gifts in and stuff like that. Like to
For
me,
sure.
like that's maybe those codes that are coming in. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, I can see that code coming in and the different and infinite possibilities of what happens if you're like, and power up from that code, where it takes you after that. I wish I could see that the way that you see it. Like I
Yeah.
still see this is physical,
Yep. 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 And there has been plenty of times in my experience ever since I was little where I was like, how come I don't see it the way that you see it?
Oh, dang. We always want what the other person
You know,
has.
exactly. And I'm like, how that I'm like living in this reality like this because I've always viewed it this way, and even to the point where me working through the majority of my stuff, the only thing that I saw was codes and energy. I didn't see the physical. I read things in code. I read things in sound, light, color. That's how I walked in the reality, and that's how most of the time I do now. Except I've had my body start to perceive it a little bit differently, so it's funner for me.
Wait,
It's
was there ever like a shift where you no longer saw it in code and you actually did see physicality?
yeah,
Or I don't know, it's like asking a colorblind person what is purple, It's like,
totally,
how do you know?
totally.
How do you know if I'm seeing, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it made it shift. In fact, it
Oh, it
kind of
did.
goes in and out now, depending on what I'm doing. For the majority of the time, though, my body is experiencing in color, code, light, frequency, sound. And I can make out now viscerally, obviously a physical format. And I
Uh-huh.
do that. But also, I used to be like, why don't I perceive it that? I don't understand like how you guys aren't seeing it this way, that this is like my life, this is my reality. And I'd get on myself for that, right? Because I'd just be speaking to energies that were on Earth, the trees, the beings, aliens that were coming in. That was like my constant. And I was still very grounded in it. Like, I would talk to people. It'd be the same as I was talking to you. I wasn't like,
Yeah.
it wasn't any different. It was just how I perceived the reality.
Oh, except like they weren't in physical form.
Um, no, no. The way that I knew that they were in physical form is because the code was different.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, like it had the physicality has obviously a denser code. It's a denser format, but also too that could be perceived as a construct. So, a lot of times what I saw with a physical body is I would see the coding for the outside vessel. I'd see the vessel coding. I'd see the human
Okay.
consciousness
So
coding.
then you could distinguish what was physical, what wasn't, because you
Exactly.
could read the
Yep.
code.
Exactly. And then I could distinguish what the soul was doing. Like I'm like, okay, that's an essence that's etheric. That's not in a physical format. They're very two different codings. They have a different feel, of a different vibration to them. The human vibration is from my perspective, at least when I saw it when I was little, the first thing that I saw was like, this is really dense. It's the atoms are very much so bunched closer together. When I was little, I saw those little teeny wavelengths. The energy frequency of the light itself isn't moving as fast.
Wow.
Okay. Whereas the soul is speedy. I mean it is like zoo 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 zoo. Like there's a it's a totally different format for that. Whereas like objects, and I can even speak and look at the energy of objects and have a chat with them. Their coding is going to be different. The density is different. I can tell exactly where they've come from, the type of wood that was used in the space, who worked with them from that particular coding.
Oh, that is amazing. There's so much information all around us that we're
Oh,
just
totally.
like completely oblivious to.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think we sense it through our emotions. Like you can walk into a space, you're like, oh, I'm not sure that feels good, or wow, that feels great. But you're like, oh yeah, and here's why, and here's the code behind it, and here's, the entire history behind it. Like that's
Right.
incredible.
So, I mean, like that is my natural state. That's my natural format. And so I had it on this side. Well, a good majority of the people were experiencing it from a different directive, and I had to work through that shadow, right? Which was pretty horrific because that's also like, how are you doing? What are you doing? What you're doing? Like, how are you perceiving that way? Are you a witch? Like, all those things that would come at you from that perspective was there for me. In this lifetime where I had to like really walk it and be like, And I disowned it for a while. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and be like as in this human whatever format that could possibly be. And so I denied all of that about myself. I ended up having a near death. I had lightning strike my door as soon as I
Oh
was
my
like, I
God.
did that. And I had a client in my office at the time, so there is actually
Oh,
proof that
the
that
universe was
happened.
mad at you for saying no. It was like, get back here. It
I
was
was
like
like,
CPR, clear.
I am denying whatever this is about myself, okay?
Oh
You want to call them gifts? That's great. I don't, it's not. It's just the universe and it's how I perceive it. And I didn't know anything different. So if I have people who are like, gosh, I wish I could do that. And it was a whole nother thing because then there was like a pedestal situation that happened. Then there was a like how do I get those gifts? And I'm like, I don't know because this is like my natural I don't know how I don't know,
no. You're like, here, take mine. I don't want it anymore. And they're like, wait,
Exactly.
what?
Exactly. I'm like, just fucking have it, man. You can take it all day long. Because on the other side of that, being able to perceive the realities the way that I perceive them, that's also a hard pill to swallow when you're in a reality like this, right? I am perceiving these things 24/7. It's highly overwhelming. Um, it's a walking dance because also I saw a lot of things that were coming through. I saw COVID coming. I saw all of these things. I perceived them. I expressed them too. And I learned really quickly that I'm not going to be doing that. That's not where I want to be in the reality.
Yeah, but like, how do you see that kind of thing coming in? Is it like code in the distance? You're like, oh shit, it's coming in. I can see it getting closer. Or
Yeah,
does it
it's
show up in
definitely
a
code.
different form?
It was coding. It was not just coding, but I was perceiving it on many infinite levels. And that took me a while to realize how many infinite levels that I was perceiving at once. It really really
Like different
destroyed.
dimensions.
Yeah, oh totally. It destroyed my like physical for a while because she perceived so much of it all at once. Which is what caused sickness. So I had to learn how to work with that. Um, but yeah, no, I saw it. I saw the coding of it. I saw the creation of it. Because it's like being outside of the Earth reality, watching humans in the consciousness a lot of times for me.
It's like being in the Truman Show with the
Oh, for
guys that
sure.
are in the control room in the moon,
That's
or
exactly
in
it.
the Hunger Games where they're all like, oh, let's shoot this fireball at her.
Exactly. And I'm like sitting here with these other creators that aren't down here physically, by the way. And they're looking at the reality and they're watching it very lovingly, okay, because we all have our choices. They want us to grow. you know and they're throwing out dynamics. Some of them obviously the humans are asking for, some of them the earth is asking for, like, okay, we're wanting to grow into this format, what are we going to do here? A lot of times it's just keeping balance with that, right? But if there's other things that kind of want to enter into the expansion space, then everybody collectively has to agree to it.
Well, Z, I have to ask because I'm so fascinated about timelines and things that are coming in. If you can see codes coming through that haven't quite hit yet, like what's in the near term for us that's like just about to like have those codes manifest in our reality?
I would have to say, I mean, and I've been working this for a hot, long second. In my perspective, I see a lot of good coming in. I do see a lot of us being able to move into spaces that we have not down here. The amount of quantum parallels that I see with Earths in the new realities or the new Earth, if you want to call it the new Earth, is very well set. We're doing really well in that. It's
Are we
just,
there yet or no?
I would have to say some of us are because we're all living in different realities,
Okay.
if that makes sense. Everybody has a different perspective. Really, what I see moving into that space is that our bodies are learning how to understand the coding. That's what's taking the moment.
So our body's understanding the coding so we can perceive more or so that we can accept more,
Perceive more, create more,
like
receive.
manifest faster, like all of that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
totally. I mean, that's like this. Manifest like this. That's where we're headed into. That's how we've actually always been. That's our natural state, is to be able to work in that way.
Yeah. And because, like you were talking about before, like you could see things that were really dense in physicality, but then spirit was moving really fast. So it's almost our bodies allowing ourselves to move faster like spirit.
Exactly. It's for our bodies to really understand that we have the ability to do that. We can create this. And we can actually be just as fast as our souls. That's we can actually move through those spaces within these bodies. That's what we're learning.
That's cool. Because here I was secretly going, please say the financial system. Please say the financial system.
I am definitely going to say that. I'm definitely going to say that that is undertow, it's in way, and it's moving its way through. And it is in several places here already. So
Oh, I believe that it is here. And it's just a matter of like, I actually did the cards on it, and it was all about your body, like your intuition and your body and your energy and your frequency. Like you all have to be aligned to it because abundance is an inside job. So it's sort of like it's sitting there waiting for each individual to kind of come into resonance with it. That
exactly.
it's not like this big for everybody at the exact same time. It actually is happening at different times for different individuals based on their resonance to it.
Yep. Yep.
So I must not be there yet because I haven't seen it and I keep asking. I need to stop asking,
No, no, no. That's why I
but
say it's here, for different people in different places, right? There's a perspective of you that does have that. It's your body is working through the process of it. I'm seeing it. Obviously, I'm seeing it in my reality, and I know that it's there. And also, this is the dance here with this and money is that it is an inside job, and also too, money is going to take care of you as long as you take care of it in that reciprocity, right? We're creating partnerships with things that we haven't so much before that we've used.
I think I'm getting tested in my dreams. Can I tell you a dream I had?
Oh, please tell me all the things.
Okay.
Go
I,
for it.
it's been a couple of days and it's really fuzzy and I wasn't like prepared to talk about it on this show with you, but like in my dream, I was in this like place and there were two people with me and I was just talking to them, but this one individual, I felt like it was a guy and I felt like he was more positive than there was like a woman next to me and she felt, well, I wasn't quite sure, right? So I think it was like I had to discern
Sure.
and I made the judgment call that this guy was a good person and he was a hologram and he actually like disintegrated into like in front of me and in my dream I was like having a panic attack going, oh my god, you're a hologram, oh my god, you're a hologram. And then I look over at this other woman and I felt there was like negativity. I was like, oh, you're not good. And so in my dream it was like testing to see if I could discern
Right.
negative versus positive. I mean, that's what the takeaway when I woke up. I was like, am I being tested right now?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with yes. It's not just you. I've had a pretty much the majority of people message me and clients saying like, "What is going on with the dreams right now? What are we do?
Oh,
What
cool.
are we? What's happening?" And from my perspective, for me, like I don't have a difference between day and night as far as like the dream state goes. Like it's a continuous space for me. I'm constantly working the day like I am a dream at night. Um,
Yeah.
so
Life is but a dream.
life
Is
is
not
but a
the nursery.
dream because it is. This is our creation, our reality. No, I would have to say for the nighttime, if I'm looking at that piece of it, I'm gonna say it definitely is discernment. Your body's learning how to discern, right? Your
Mm.
body's learning how to make sure that intuition is quick.
Uh-huh.
It's a yes, no. If something feels off, that's not going to work. Or even if something does feel off, to look at it from a different perspective. Just because it might feel off doesn't mean it's wrong. It's bad. If you get hung up on something like that, where it's like, ooh, that was creepy, that didn't feel good. I don't know what's going on. Then you're going to send your nervous system into a panic, right?
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, where now I see some of these images coming through here that are really funny, where it's like not just a test, but like, can your nervous system handle what's coming in next?
Yes. Okay. Okay. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's the takeaway. Can your nervous system handle what's coming in next? Because these light codes are coming in.
Yep.
We're moving into this period of like rapid advancement of whatever is coming in. I mean, I have my Christmas wish list coming in, but like,
And it's money.
it's money, damn it. Well, it's more than that, right? I don't want to be that shallow. Come on. But it's more about opportunity, man. Like it's like how do we get to break free of the constructs of this 9 to 5 life we live all the time? How do we get to move into this joyful creation where we get to like give generously to others? And it's like this co-creative process. We're like helping to fund other people's dreams. I'm not the kind of person that has the humanitarian like business plan. I want to fund those plans. And I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
be part of that, like, because that's my love language is gifts.
right,
And
right,
I want to be able to give generously because that's what makes me light up and shine. And I'm like, how do I move into that reality where the money is the energy that we get
exactly.
to exchange with to help fund these other programs and to fund other people? And it's just this like everyone gets uplifted because we're not constrained in our day-to-day lives that we're in right now. And it's like, can my nervous system handle that? Are we ready for that next big shift? Because we're going to have to know how to discern who do we
Right.
fund, who do we not?
Oh, totally,
Because
totally, exactly.
because
Because we're going to need to. And it's funny because that's why I'm talking to you and we're good buddies because I also knew that about myself when I was little. And it's something that's been continuous all the way through my cycle is like, I would like to open up the lines to bring in the money flow for everybody to be able to create, to be stable, to enjoy each other, to allow this earth to really shine with how we actually are in our natural states. So all I'm gonna say to that is our nervous systems are getting prepped for that. Like that is happening. And I know it's happening. I can be very confident in that now because I've gone through several processes within my own body and nervous system and from my own coding and sensing and seeing perspective that's happening for me.
I love that. I mean, can I get a high five? Can we do like the Brady Bunch high five in the Zoom chat? All right, we'll have to work on that.
Yeah, got it. I'm laughing because my inner child's like, I will just do this all.
High five, high 10, high 10.
Get it. Yeah, we'll work on that.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. But this is an amazing conversation. Like,
Oh
thank
yeah,
you
for
so
sure.
much.
Yeah, it's
I
awesome.
love just really getting into like that deep, juicy construct stuff
Oh yeah,
that no
for
one
sure.
else really talks about. And it's fascinating. You have such an amazing perspective on things.
Oh, and so do you. So that's why we're working together. I do want to jump on here again sometime soon. Let's do some cards for money and whatever else might pop up as far as like
Okay.
flow goes.
Yep.
I would love to come on here and do a which life was shittier. Roast,
Yes.
like a
Yes.
roast.
Wine and wine. Oh, because I got some good ones. Trust me on that one. Whose life sucks the worst.
Let's do that as we look at our stories. I think it'll be fun to tell our stories in that format and see where we come to this
We
point.
might even have to do it like a bingo card.
Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing.
How funny would that be? Like the bingo card of shit. And then like, as we tell our stories, you're like, bingo, I got 4 cross.
Let's do it. I'm so down. That sounds amazing. We'll have our wine with us.
Yes. Okay. Well, that sounds great. Well, I could have some carryover from my wine last night during Halloween.
Oh yeah, good times. All right,
All
girl.
right.
Thank you so much. I'm excited for more of this. And for all of you who are out there, please hit subscribe and also, ask questions because we're more than willing to open up into deeper conversations or whatever else might be popping through that y'all like as well. So,
Yes. Well, thank you so much.
thank
Sending you
you.
much love.
Bye, guys.
Bye.